We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the SoDo District of Seattle. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First play, and Young is going to throw it. And connecting here with DJ Chark. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down, keep the sticks moving.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And some space here.
Scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Smith. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead.
There he goes, left side, trotting. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's back to the line of scrimmage and get a full load of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Smith. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Smith. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
That throw by Young incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Young. Rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Oh, now is the punter, Johnny Hecker, who in fact grew up just north of here in nearby Bothell. Fielded at the 20. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series. And
now this is intercepted. My goodness. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Buffalo 18. Go, Reed. Go.
Geno now to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down.
Warriors 17.
Back to throw, Smith. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. A give running left. It's Sanders. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. These two teams all tied after one.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. First down, Young. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Panthers have moved out in front. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Have the street! Have the street!
Smith on first down. Going deep here for Watkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Off the play fake, Young. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Young. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Young. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw, Young. On the slant, this is Chark. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Now here's Young. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. You think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt, or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for someone.
And now the rookie's free. Past the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Throwing on 2nd and long. Young, the quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on 1st down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Young. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pen. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Now Geno on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is now 21-14. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On play action, Young. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. On first down, it's Smith. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. It's complete to Lockett. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. He has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
They'll try for the first with Walker. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Walker. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. The play fake, now Young. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Another run with Sanders. 86 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. They quickly to Thielen here. Touchdown! Adam Thielen from 19 yards away. And the Panthers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Gold with the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Jeremy Chinn picks it off, and the Panthers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, Charles, it was so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is, oh my He pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 13. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Young. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Uchenna Nwosu, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards. 3rd and long for Young. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Let's go now. Cougar 19. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
On 1st and 10, Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take over at their own 41. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Young. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. On 1st and 10, Young. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The Smith's throw caught here by Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Ready? Check contact. Check contact.
Smith now to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Boy, 179 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. And now here's another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick, and the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone. Right, we use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
And Young's throw there, incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Smith. And his throw here's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Drop 50, drop 50.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And the lead will hold at 13. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Now a throw here to his running back. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Young working out of the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have the Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Young looks to throw on 1st down. Right back to Pitts again. Down inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. Sharks got it left side. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's Walker to start the drive. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
12 more yards there and another first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Smith. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Throwing now, Smith. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown. Noah Fant, 35 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Here's Young. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Young's throw taken in by Chark. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Young. That's caught by Pitts, finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Young to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Young. That's going to be caught by Pitts. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. To the air once more, Young. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Seahawks, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Family size, leather bombers and Nike Sacai's, dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused, spoiled little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1.